Toy Tractor Times is at the 2018 St. Louis Farm Toy Show with Daryl Cox of Jackson, Tennessee. Daryl, you've built several great displays with cotton themes, and one of them I think is at the National Farm Toy Museum now. You've won a few contests here at St. Louis and taken some prizes home at the National. What did you bring out to the show this year? You won first place in 1/16 scale. Congratulations.
Thank you, and I appreciate everybody having me here. What I have here is a lawn and garden, John Deere lawn and garden dealership. And what got all this started is about 5 years ago I got heavily involved in the lawn and garden hobby, the real tractors. And I happened to have an extra truck, so I was wanting to build a trailer for it. And so I come up with this idea to build a John Deere hauler that hauls the little small tractors.
Okay.
So that's what I come up with, and then from that, I built it about a year ago, and it was well received by everyone. Everybody really loved it, so I thought, well, it'd be nice to have a dealership to go along with it. It's sitting in a dealership, so then come up here with a dealership. So if you're gonna build a dealership, I didn't really copy anybody particular, but you know, if you got a dealership, you gotta have a showroom, you gotta have a shop, and you gotta have a work area with a fence around it, and you gotta have a front yard, since you got lawn and garden tractors, and plus you gotta have a lot of lawn and garden tractors.
That's right.
To supply it to make it look correct.
I remember growing up, we had a standalone, lawn and garden dealership, but they're not all John Deere dealers are just
Right.
the big tractors.
Right. And then I got to thinking, got to putting it together, and then I remember we had a John Deere dealership, a real life-size dealership, and I thought, it started out, they had, this is based around 68, 69,
Okay.
the years. And back then, you just started, you had the old barn, maybe an old home place, and maybe a shop you worked out of, and it turned into a business, and then you decide you want to get a dealership, so John Deere is going to make you tear it down and build you a nice dealership, and maybe leave the barn back here in the back. And then as progress comes along, I know in this particular dealership, they widened the road, made it a 4-lane, made the guy curb and gutter everything, and so that's how I start back here with the old barn and come up with something new as we get further to the front. Then, of course, as we see the shop here, I try to supply it with all the necessary tools that you need to run a shop.
Well, let's take a look at that. I'll see if I can't zoom in. Got drill presses and a lot of tools.
And a tractor, usually they're laid out on the floor like you see, and I put a floor fan back here in it. It's actually come out of the computer. I try to come up with ideas like that to make it happen.
Sure.
The building itself is built out of 1/4-inch plywood, and I veneered it with 26-gauge sheet metal, and each one of these are individual pieces.
Oh, wow.
I've cut them about 1.25 inches wide, and I put a 90-degree turn on, 1/8 inch 90-degree turn on each one, and then buttered them together and glued them to my plywood. And then I also added gutters to it. And as you see right here, I made this little sign here, the John Deere, put the 4-legged decal on it, put parts of service like most of them did, off to the side here.
I'd like to talk about this truck because I'm just looking at it. I mean, you see the carts, the Patio series, and then the regular John Deeres that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, you got I had 4 140s on here, and then I got 4 110s on here. Since they're shorter, I put them on the high spot over the wheels.
Okay.
And I even put a screen on the top so debris wouldn't come in on these right here, because I had a debris protector made on the front right here.
Now, what do you make that? I mean, I can see it's kind of graded and...
Yes, this is actually just made out of mesh that I robbed from office supply. Like waste baskets and filing stuff. I found a bunch of junk ones, so I cut it out. And that's how
makes a nice fence.
It does. It makes for a corrugated fence, and also expanded metal. Also added these to represent barrels of motor oil for lawn and garden, and also transmission fluid. And I made them, we could pick them on and off with the front left or a hoist.
What'd you make the straps out of?
They're just elastic.
Okay.
I bought at Walmart, and I stained yellow.
Nice.
That comes white, and then I just used maybe some jury brackets to fasten it with. I made hooks on each one, and I custom built each one to hold each tractor. And I painted, like on the Patio series, I painted the container to match the tractor. And then I put crossover ties here to lock them in place to haul them so they won't get away from you. But anyway, that's basically what makes the truck where I could haul a whole load of lawn and garden equipment coming from the factory to the dealerships. And then on the barn, basically I built it out of 1/4-inch plywood. Then I took old wood and ripped it 7/8 inch thick. And then I ripped the veneer off of it and glued each one of those pieces onto the barn to make it look like wood planks. And then I found an old John Deere badge off an old tractor.
Oh, nice.
To make like a sign, John Deere sign that somebody nailed on the side of the barn. And I found some little come-alongs and some horse and hay bales. I had a little detail to that. The fence is made out of 3/8 dowel. And I cut a groove in each one of them to receive this expanded metal into it to fasten it with. Then I put an 1/8 inch dowel for the top rail. I used just jewelry wire for the bob wire. And usually I run 3 strands on it. These lights, these were old railroad signals for probably back in the 40s or 50s. So I took all the signals off of them, then I made the upper piece for it and bolted it on to the pole itself. And I took this is all made out of brass. And I took a solid brass and carved out the light itself, and then got some lens put on it.
That is seamless. And that's a detail that you might not notice at first glance, but it's a very good one.
Right. The gates, I decided I didn't want them out of expanded metal, so I wanted them to look like an iron gate with just vertical spindles in it. So I made them and made a track system so it would go back and forth, and put 2 strands of bob wire on top of it. This right here is just a fueling station outside on the outside edge. I just used a lot of, again, some old railroad lights that I found at a flea market to light it up with. And then I used these, just components that you can buy online. And that's basically just a fueling station off to the side. The rest of it, I just recessed the front of this 3/8 of an inch, which forms a 6-inch gutter, because I wanted the gutter to go around it. And I put a brick wall around the front of it. I painted this black so it looked like asphalt. And then I just added the green grass. Sure. And of course, John Deere, luckily, they made a lot of lawn and garden tractors that I could use to decorate it with the tractors.
Well, and we've got the Precisions, we got the Patio series, and then even originals.
And this is original coming out of the lawn and garden set.
When I was a kid, I wanted that set, of course, with that brush and the scraper pan. And
yeah, it came with 4 implements, I believe.
They're pretty pricey.
Yes, they are, and I come up with them. And then to do my front here, I wanted it to be real flashy, so I copied a lawn and garden sign like over there, lawn and garden equipment. And I just made my own sign, put lawn and garden, and I put the stripes on it to decorate the front.
And we've got all the Brindley equipment, cultivator, disc, corn planter to plow, grader, brush, cart, the blade.
Right.
I'm a yard farmer at heart because I'm not a farmer myself, and that's all things I would love to have.
Right, yeah.
And you got a Cox Implement and Company here, Jackson, Tennessee?
Yeah, it's really make-believe. I just named it after myself, and
I'd be ready to come in and buy something. It's a good-looking dealership.
I just made it out of brass and welded 2 vertical 1/4-inch rod to it, and then I bolted. This is 2 piece. Painted one yellow and one's green, and I bolted with little miniature bolts to hold them together to give some pizzazz to it. Make just a wood bracket to hold it.
For our viewers that say, now wait a second, why don't we have John Deere green and yellow tractors? In the late 60s, 70s, kind of got into the suburban craze. Everybody started getting lawn and garden tractors.
The reason for this, the Patio series, they were nicknamed that. John Deere's, their thought was they were going to appeal to women. These came out in 1969. They wanted to appeal to the woman because women started riding mowing yards.
And they made the purchasing decision too. You couldn't, kind of get permission about
Exactly,
buy a mower.
and they thought women would rather have colors. It turned out to be a disaster for John Deere. Many of them dealers had to repaint them green to sell them. People, they just wouldn't buy them.
They wanted a green John Deere.
They wanted a green and yellow John Deere, but now they're very collectible in real life.
So I'm trying to think if I remember my names off the top of my head. I think it was Blue Spruce.
Blue Spruce, April Yellow, Patio Red, and Sunset Orange.
Okay. Very nice. It's I think collectors today would love to find those.
And then simply here, I even added the storm drains and the gutters right here to give a little detail to it, and I just added a protective rail around it, like you see in a lot of car lots, and another brick wall to create the turn here. My John Deere sign here, I made it out of badges that I think they come off of. It's a 830, I believe, is what they come off, and they're contoured, so I had to make it. This is made out of wood. The center point is, and then this is just aluminum pole. I made a nice sign.
Very nice.
And then I highlighted the 140 with all the little Breely attachments and put them in a concrete circle. To create the washed concrete look, I used just cork. 1/16 cork that you can buy at Tractor Supply in a roll, and it's actually made to make gaskets out of, but I glued it down with Elmer's glue to wood, and it give a nice concrete wash finish look.
Got the fire hydrant. U.S. mailbox.
The U.S. mailbox. This is something I just picked up at a flea market, and I seen it, and I said, well, that'd be pretty cool. And here are just some more lights that I picked up, and I thought they would be decorative. The building itself, here again, is the office. The showroom, excuse me. I added a few of the features here, and I just welded me some 1/8" rod to it and inserted it into a wood panel. So you got heaters, welders, battery testers, and shop equipment that you need there. Another one I made it where I can remove them so I could. Here's another idea that I used. All these come out of the restoration tractors like the 4020s, and you get a compressor, jack, shop tools.
Looks just like a
display. And
then garden tools. It looks like on the.
Then I got the garden tools over here. I picked them up at Hobby Lobby. I had to cut on them, make them smaller because they was too big. So I had to scale them down a little bit.
Gumball machine. That was one of my favorite things going in as a kid.
That's another thing. You could just buy at Hobby Lobby, but every one of them had a gumball machine at the door.
Got all the parts books up at the counter. Parts room back there.
Books, packages that come in, and that sort of the little telephone and a radio sitting here. And then here's another idea I'll come up with. I couldn't find these actually, John Deere, and so Kubota made a lawn and garden set, maintenance set, and they had these items in that set. So I bought it, took them apart, and painted them yellow.
Very cool.
And come up with blowers.
John Deere had a full line, and today they use still, but back then they had.
And you still buy John Deere, all that stuff. They still have steel, but you still buy John Deere stuff. And then the building itself, again, this is a two-piece John Deere sign that I put on the front. It's made out of brass. I just had a John Deere decal left over from something. I added a little decal here, welded it so I could fasten it to, and then made that two-piece and bolted them together to kind of give a 3D effect right there. And how the yellow and green color scheme come out. I just use plexiglass for my windows, but I put trim around them inside and out.
Nice, and looks like maybe somebody just picked up a new mower.
Yes, this is just a really old true scale truck. I didn't want to use nothing real new. I wanted to use like when maybe an old guy come in and bought him a new mower,
Sure.
And
looks like the trade-in lot. I've got a
trade-in lot back here.
Cub Cadet 122 that has seen better days.
Right. And you always got some junk mowers that, come in. They're just junk, maybe for parts. I put them over there. I had another little old LA with a sickle mower. I just put it for filler space, you know.
Sure.
And
Forklift?
forklift, I picked it up at a junk store.
It's got the loader. That'd be a nice thing to have.
Yes, that's
That'd
the
be
loader.
very nice for a lawn and garden tractor.
Right. And that come out of the lawn and garden set.
And then it looks like maybe a 2020 utility tractor.
2020 utility, you know, I just wanted a good, we had one of them on the farm forever,
Sure.
so I just wanted to add it to it. And then I just wanted the back entrance, and a little entrance for lawn and garden tractors to come over here. It's a narrow entrance. And I wanted it to flow.
All right, so we can take a look at the building here again with the all the detail.
Right. Then again, like here, I just named it after myself, Cox Implement Company, Lawn and Garden Equipment, Jackson, Tennessee. Again, that's a two-piece sign. And then on the back back here, I added it, but I put parts and service on it. Then I got another sign here created to add parts and service. Look at that sign back there on the back. And then I needed something for it to die into the display, so I decided I could get me a banner. So I went to a sign shop, and she had about 10 pictures I could choose from, and I chose this one because it had a lot of depth to it.
Sure.
And it had a tree right in the center, and I thought it looked good behind the barn.
No, when we kind of look at the lot here, it just makes a nice background. Makes it look very realistic.
Yeah, it makes it look like if you was even standing here, you would see your neighbor's house way in the distance.
Sure.
And then to decorate the border and the skirt around it, I used it burlap. And then I added this is a real John Deere banner. It's a canvas banner, yellow and green with a rope. And so I just run it around the perimeter of it. And then I had this John Deere four-legged sign that it's pretty rare. I know it's got some rust on it, but I like them that way.
Oh, it's nice to save that part of history.
Exactly. So it's a good size to carry around.
Well, Daryl, thank you very much for the tour and taking the time to share all this out at the show. And
Well, I'm just glad
especially
to be
for yard
here.
farmers. Not everybody can run the big stuff, but it's
right.
fun running the little stuff too.
Well, I've had a great time. People's enjoyed it, and that's good.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jason.